Welcome to the Old Time Radio Superman Show. This is your host, Adam Graham. Well, apparently we had some mix-up with the episodes where people didn't get the whole thing, so this is becoming a double episode. So go ahead and listen. I've just gone ahead and tacked this little intro on to, we'll have part 9 and then we'll have part 10. My past self is entirely oblivious to what his future self is saying, so keep that in mind. But we'll get into today's episode, which will be part 9, and then I'll in the past introduce part 9, which will really be part 10, and then on Wednesday I'll introduce part 10, which will really be part 11. Got that straight? All right. So let's go ahead and I'll fix Wednesdays. Okay, but let's go ahead and we will take a listen to Dr. Deutch and the Radium Mine, Part 9.
Presenting the transcription feature, Superman!
Look! Up in the sky!
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman! Yes, it's Superman, strange visitor from the planet Krypton, who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. Superman, who can leap tall buildings at a single bound, race a speeding bullet to its target, bend steel in his bare hands, and who, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper, fights a never-ending battle for truth and justice.
And now to our story. Roaring out to sea in one of Dr. Deutsch's radio-controlled seaplanes, Clark Kent, Jimmy, and Jimmy's dog Storm have finally managed to escape from mysterious Volcano Island. Professor Browning, whom Deutch had brutally forced to operate his radium plant, is in the plane with them, almost unconscious from the bullet wound he received during the struggle for possession of the plane. The plane they are on is headed for a boat waiting 10 miles off the coast, a boat mysteriously ordered by Deutch. As the giant ship hurtles through the sky, Kent wonders what will be waiting for them. Listen.
Gosh, Mr. Kent, it'll be dark soon, and we've been flying a long time. Do you think we're almost there?
I think so, Jimmy. You better go back into the rear compartment and see how the professor's getting along. I'll watch for the boat.
Okay, Mr. Kent. Professor Browning seems awfully restless, coughing and mumbling in his sleep.
Well, he's had a tough time of it. I hope we can get him to the mainland soon.
Too bad we can't even make the professor comfortable. There aren't even enough seats in this ship.
Well, this is a cargo plane. It's not designed to carry passengers. Deutsch probably never used it for anything but ship his radium.
12 ounces? I could carry that in my pocket.
Oh, no, you couldn't. Radium is packed in quarter grams. You know, it's powerful stuff. It can only be carried in lead cylinders, and if Deutsch put one cylinder in a book, well, that makes a lot of books.
I wonder why Deutsch hasn't turned this plane around, Mr. Kent. Hans must have gotten to him by this time.
It'd be a simple matter for him to turn it around and bring it back to the island.
Gosh, why hasn't he done it?
I'm not sure. I've been thinking about that, even though I didn't mention it to you. And I've got a hunch he's radioed the boat to take care of us when we land.
What do we do, Mr. Kent?
I don't know yet, Jim. We just have to sit tight and trust to luck.
Oh, what is it, Storm? Oh, look, Mr. Kent. The professor's up.
Professor, you're wounded. Lie down.
Yeah. Leave me alone, Dyke. Leave me alone. Radium, pounds of it, that's what you want. Pounds of radium.
Professor!
Don't touch me, Dyke. Don't.
Please, Professor, lie down.
Dungeon. Must get out. Gotta. Mr. Kent, he collapsed.
Stay here, Jimmy. Hold Storm, will you?
How is he, Mr. Kent?
Well, he's not suffering anymore.
You mean...
Yes, Jim. It's better that way. Much better.
Poor old man. I kind of liked him.
Yeah, so did I. What's that down below?
The lights of a boat. Do you think that's the one?
Must be. It's starting to slow down and circle for a landing. Well, now for the fireworks.
Do you think they know we're on this plane?
Can't tell yet. We'll find out in a few minutes.
What do we do? Give them a good fight?
No, Jimmy. Let them take us aboard. Maybe they'll sail us to the mainland. Then we'll have half a chance anyway. All right, brace yourself, Jimmy. We'll hit the water any minute.
Okay. Come here, Storm. Let me hold you. Look, 2 men are pulling away from the boat in a dinghy.
Must be members of the crew, Jimmy.
Gee, sure are tough-looking birds.
Don't you worry. They don't know we're on board. We've got to jump on them.
You suppose Hans and Deutch have warned them to expect us?
Somehow I don't think so, Jim. The moon is bright enough so I can see from here they're not armed. If they were expecting to find anything except a cargo full of radium-loaded books, they'd carry guns.
Gee, I hope you're right.
All right, now listen carefully, Jimmy. We'll hide in this compartment in the tail of the plane. As soon as they both get in, we'll rush them. All right, come on now. Into this compartment.
All right, keep it steady, Joe, while I climb up on the wing. I'll hand the stuff over to you.
Okay, I got it.
For the love of... Hey, something's fishy.
What do you mean?
The plane's clean empty.
Go on, you bet.
All right, come up and see for yourself, wise guy.
Well, I'll be... This don't make sense. There's supposed to be a load of books on board.
Sure, same as the other times.
What the? It sounds like a door.
Look out, here he comes.
Kick him in the teeth, Bill.
Hey, don't you kick him. Look, it's a kid and a big guy.
All right, try and stop this one, mister.
Oh, get him. Look out behind you, Mr. Kent.
All right. That'll hold you for a while.
Gosh, Mr. Kent, you've knocked them both cold.
Did I? Well, I guess they both stepped right into my wild punches. All right, come on now, Jimmy. Help me lower them into the dinghy. I'll get in first.
All right.
All right, Jimmy. Roll him over. Okay, I got it. There. The next one. That's it. There now. Okay, come on, Jimmy. Jump for it. Storm's here with me.
Here I come.
Attaboy.
Gosh, Mr. Kent, you're almost as strong as Superman.
Oh, nonsense, Jimmy. Here, quickly, give me the oars.
Here they are.
Good thing it's dark. Maybe we'll be able to get on board without the rest of the crew seeing us.
Where are we?
Take it easy. You're aboard your boat.
Who are you, anyway? How'd you two get on that plane?
That's none of your business. Now, just remember this. From now on, I'm running things, and you're taking orders from me.
That's what you think. We take our orders from the boss and nobody else, see?
Who is your boss?
Don't tell him, Joe.
What do you take me for, a sap? I ain't telling him nothing.
Well, the only thing to do is turn you two specimens over to the police. They'll make you talk.
We ain't done nothing.
Ever hear of Dr. Deutch?
Who?
Dr. Deutch.
Never heard of him.
Me neither.
Ask them why they brought the boat out here, Mr.
You
Kent.
keep your nose out of this, kid.
Yeah.
Why did you bring your boat to this spot?
Because we like to ride on the ocean, that's why.
Sure, we like the breezes.
I can see we're wasting time. Get up on your feet, both of you. I said get up on your feet. Okay, I'll get you up.
Oh, you're breaking my arm.
Stand up.
Okay.
That's better. Now pay attention. This boat must have a shortwave sending set. Where is it?
We got one, but it's on a blink.
If it wasn't, mister, the boss would have told us to meet you with bullets.
Shut up, Bill.
I see. Where is the radio?
In a deck house, but it won't do you no good.
I'll find that out for myself. Jimmy,
Yes, Mr. Kent?
hand me that length of rope.
This one?
That's it. Now turn around, you two. Did you hear what I said, or do I have to demonstrate?
All right. You don't have to get tough.
Hold your hands behind your backs. That's right. Now, a few turns of this rope around your wrist. Take it easy. There, a couple of good knots. You'll be safe for a while, tied together like Siamese twins.
You won't talk so big when the boss hears about this.
Oh, you have no idea how anxious I am to meet your boss face to face.
Yeah?
In the meantime, we'll have to content ourselves with your company. Now, march.
Where are you taking him, Mr. Kent?
We'll dump them in the stern compartment for the time being. I want to see whether I can get that radio working. If not, we'll run the boat to the naval base.
What about poor Professor Browning on the plane?
I'll take care of that. Don't worry, Jimmy. He'll get a decent burial. All right, start walking, gentlemen. And don't try any funny work. Through the deck house and into the stern compartment.
I guess it's all right to leave Storm out here, isn't it, Mr. Kent? He's fast asleep over by the rail.
Oh, sure, he'll be all right. All right, here we are. Open that door to the stern compartment, Jimmy. This looks comfortable enough. Step inside. Now, remember, both of you, don't get any bright ideas or you're liable to wind up with very bad headaches. I'll see you later. Now, Jimmy, let's see about that shortwave set.
I bet they were lying. I bet it worked.
I don't think so, Jim. If it worked, Deutch would have contacted them to tell them we were on our way. Now, here it is. Let's see now. This must be the power switch.
There's a hum. Does that mean it works?
It means there's power, but the sending apparatus may be out of order. Is that tube lit?
No, I don't think so. But this one is.
No. 4 of them are lit, and 2 aren't. That's the trouble, I guess.
Oh, then we can't send a message to the naval base,
I
huh?
don't know. We may be able to send and not receive. I'll try it anyway. Calling the naval base. Calling the naval base. Come in, please.
Anything doing?
Not yet. Calling the naval base. Calling the naval base. Come in. Come in, please. Calling the naval base.
Unable to determine whether or not his voice is going out over the airwaves, Clark Kent repeats the call again and again. Meanwhile, in the stern compartment, the two members of the boat's crew speak in low, hushed voices.
We gotta get off of this tub, Bill. If we don't, we're gonna get tossed in a clink.
Yeah, but how are we going to get off?
Through the stern hatch. You don't know about it.
You crazy? What are we going to do, swim with our hands tied? Not me.
So loud. We ain't gonna swim. We'll get out through the stern hatch, sneak up to the deck house, and cock up.
With our hands tied, I suppose.
Our hands won't be tied, dope. Now, stand close to me. Yeah, that's it. Slip your fingers into my back pocket. Okay?
A knife.
You got it? Open it up.
Okay. She's open. Back up to me. I'll cut the rope. Good thing this knife is sharp. Okay, you're free. Now get me loose, will you?
That does it. Now we'll fix that mug, whoever he is.
Hey, wait a minute. Listen, Joe, I ain't so keen on tangling with him. Not without guns. And they're in the deck house. Anyway, remember what we got told? If anything happens, get rid of the boat, remember?
Yeah, so what?
Well, maybe we better get rid of it.
What about us?
We can scram in the dinghy. There ain't no sea running. We can make sure easy.
Oh, we get the dinghy off the stern.
Easy. It's pitch dark now. He won't see us.
All right. But what do we do about the boat? Scuttle it?
Nah, it takes too long. Hey, wait a minute.
What are you doing?
There's some cotton waste and a gallon of kerosene. We'll douse it and set fire to it.
It's a good idea, but make it fast. Spread it around good, Bill.
Okay. Boy, will this tub go up.
Now, stand back, Bill. We're going to light this match. All ready?
Let her go.
Right.
Fire at sea. Orange tongues of flame leaping from the stern compartment and eating their deadly way slowly but surely to the gas tanks on either side of the boat. Will Clark Kent and Jimmy discover the fire in time, or will it get beyond control and blow the boat into 1,000 pieces? What will happen?
Don't forget, tune in again for the next thrilling episode with Superman.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird.
It's a plane.
It's Superman. Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine.
Welcome to the Old Time Radio Superman Show. From Boise, Idaho, this is your host, Adam Graham, bringing you another episode of Dr. Deutch and the Radium Mine. Well, last we left our heroes, the bad guys were plotting to escape and to blow up the ship by setting it on fire. Will Jimmy and Clark find out the truth before it's too late? We'll find out in a moment. Before we get started, though, I want to encourage you and let you know we have just released Laser and Sword Magazine's second annual issue with a very well-designed, sleek cover. Available to you, go to laserandsword.com, and we've got a link right there on the front page that'll take you to our store. It contains 9 exciting stories that you can follow and read through at a very reasonable price. Makes a great Christmas present. So please go to laserandsword.com, pick up your edition of the annual edition of Laser and Sword magazine, the stories written by me, Adam Graham, with editing done by my wife, Andrea Graham. So please go to laserandsword.com to pick up your issue today. All right, well, without any further ado, let's get into today's episode.
Presenting the transcription feature, Superman.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird.
It's a plane.
It's Superman. Yes, it's Superman, strange visitor from the planet Krypton, who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. Superman, who can leap tall buildings at a single bound, race a speeding bullet to its target, bend steel in his bare hands, and who, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper, fights a never-ending battle for truth, and justice.
And now to our story. When we last saw Clark Kent, he and young Jimmy Olsen were aboard a small motor cruiser 10 miles offshore. The boat, somehow connected with the espionage activities of Dr. Deutch and his ring of foreign agents, was being run by two men whom Kent overpowered and tied up in the stern compartment. At the moment, Kent and Jimmy are trying to reach the naval base over the boat's shortwave sending set, unaware that the two men have gotten loose and are about to set the boat on fire and make their escape in a dinghy. Listen.
Calling the naval base. Calling the naval base. Come in, please.
I guess it's not working. Those two guys said it was on the blink.
Yeah, I'm afraid they were right, Jimmy. We're getting power, but I don't think our signal's going out. Well, might as well turn it off. No sense wasting battery.
Now what, Mr. Kent? Are we going to run the boat into the naval base?
I'm wondering, Jimmy. Those two birds we've got on the stern compartment said they only took orders from their boss. I'd like very much to find out who their boss is.
Oh, Dr. Deutch. He's the head of the espionage ring, isn't he?
I don't think they were referring to Deutsch. I have a feeling there's one important member of this gang we haven't bumped into yet. I don't remember whether I told you or not, but Deutsch and Hans made good their escape from the naval base after we captured them on the Grayson submarine because of a forged order.
Oh, I remember that. Someone forged Commander Leeds' name.
That's right. And now that someone must have been at the naval base at the time, working hand in hand with Deutsch.
You think maybe he's the boss those two guys meant?
I wouldn't be a bit surprised. So it might be a good plan to just sit here and wait for the boss to show up.
Well, what makes you think he'll do that, Mr. Kent? Gosh, we could be floating out here in the ocean for days.
Well, let's see if we can reason it out logically. This much we know. Volcano Island has the largest deposits of radium-producing ore in the world. And Deutsch and his men are mining it as fast as they can.
And he's been shipping the radium off the island, hidden in books. And that's how we got to this boat. In the radio-controlled plane that was supposed to be carrying some of the books.
Exactly. That plane we were in was supposed to be carrying radium to this boat. But why?
Gee, I don't know.
There must be a reason. Obviously, Deutsch wanted the radium transported to another place.
Oh, why didn't he just send the plane to that place?
Ah, now we're coming to it. Because it's probably a place where either the plane can't land, or where the police might get suspicious if they saw it.
Say.
For example, a city like Metropolis. Imagine the crowds that would gather if a radio-controlled plane dropped out of the sky and taxied into the Metropolis airport.
I get what you're driving at, Mr. Kent. Deutsch was just transferring the radium to this boat, and then this boat would dock someplace, and then the radium would be picked up.
Jimmy, you've all the makings of a good Sherlock Holmes. Now can you see why it might be wise for us to sit tight and wait?
Oh, sure. This boat doesn't come into shore and dock soon. The boss, whoever he is going to come out and look for it.
That's a bullseye, Jimmy.
Yes, but there's only one thing.
What?
Aren't we liable to drift out to sea or something?
Oh, I don't think so. There's no wind and very little tide. I've been keeping an eye on the compass.
What's that?
What? The plane! The one we came in. Look! It's rising from the water.
Deutch is using the radio control to bring it back to Volcano Island. Oh, Mr. Kent, we've got to stop it. Professor Browning's body is in the cabin.
We can't stop it now, Jimmy. Even if we could, I don't think it would be wise. I want Deutsch to believe we're being held on this boat. That'll make him careless and easy to lay our hands on. There's nothing we can do for Professor Browning now.
I guess you're right. Oh, look, Mr. Kent, here's Storm. The plane motor must have wakened him. Hiya, Mutt.
He's the whimperingest dog I ever came across, Jimmy. I think he's got a perpetual stomachache.
Oh, what's the matter, Storm? What is it, old fella? Oh, look at him, Mr. Kent. He's sniffing around the deck house. Must be something there he doesn't like.
Well, that's too bad. We'll get him a 30-room mansion with hot and cold running water.
No, I'm not kidding, Mr. Kent. He just barked at the door leading to the stern compartment. Do you think maybe those two guys are up to something?
Not the way I tied them up.
Well, I'm going to take a look. All right, Storm. Now stop barking. I'll open the door. Mr. Kent, the boat's on fire.
Great Scott! Slam the door!
What do we do, Mr. Kent? What do we do?
Don't lose your head now, Jimmy.
But we're burning up 10 miles from shore.
Take Storm and go up to the front of the boat. I'll put the fire out.
How?
With an extinguisher. Now, do as I say. Hurry.
Did you see that fire? The whole cabin's in flames.
Don't stand there discussing it with me. Take your dog and go up front and stay there until I come for you. Now, go on.
All right, but it looks bad. Come on, Storm.
Just keep calm, Jimmy. We'll get out of this.
Gosh, I hope so.
I'll turn out this deck house light so he can't see me from the bow. He was plenty right. No extinguisher could stop that fire.
But Superman can. Now, let's see what it looks like. Oh, it's a blazing inferno. How did it ever get so far without our noticing it? Well, it's got to be stopped before it reaches the gas tanks and blows us sky high. Here goes. Oh, never felt anything so hot. like the inside of a furnace. Good thing this cape is fireproof. I can use it to smother the flames. There, that does the trick. Part of it's out. Now to tackle the rest. No, wait. It's burning beneath the floor. Right near the gas tanks. I hope I'm not too late. I hope
A tongue of flame leaping high into the darkness, a thunderous explosion, and the boat rises from the sea like a thing alive, hangs suspended for a moment, and then bursts into 1,000 glowing fragments that drop back into the water, hissing like snakes. Uninjured even by the deadly force of the explosion, Superman swims through a white-hot pool of flaming gasoline, his keen eyes scanning the floating debris. His only thought, the safety of young Jimmy Olsen.
Jimmy! Jimmy! Where are you, Jimmy? If he's lost, I'll never forgive myself. Jimmy! Jimmy! No human could live in this burning gas. There's only one slim chance. If the explosion hurled him clear of the gasoline. Jimmy! Jimmy! Oh, for the first time since I've been on Earth, I'm helpless. I don't know what to do, where to look. Jimmy! Jimmy! He's gone. Gone. No, wait. What's that floating over there near the cushion? It can't be. Yes, it is. It's Jimmy. Hold on, boy. There. I've got you, Jimmy. Ah, just relax. You're safe now. Yes, I know, but you're all right.
Oh, what happened? Poor Mr. Kent.
He's all right, too, Jimmy.
Oh, thank goodness.
Oh, poor kid. All he was worried about was me. I don't think he's been hurt much, but I'd better get him on dry land. Up! Up! And away! It certainly is good to know that he's safe. I never expected to see him again. How he ever escaped serious injury is a miracle. Ah, there's the shoreline below. I'll just land and give him a chance to come to. Down! Down! There. That's better. Now to bring him around as Clark Kent. Jimmy!
Oh, attaboy. Wake up.
Oh, poor Mr. Kent.
Hey, wait a minute, young fella. What do you mean, poor Mr. Kent? What makes you think I'm poor?
Explosion. Mr. Kent was in the...
Oh, what's the matter, Jimmy?
Well, you didn't get exploded.
What?
When the boat... You didn't... Oh, gosh, Mr. Kent, it blew up, but you
whoa,
didn't...
Whoa, take it easy. You're talking Greek.
Oh, Mr. Kent, I'm so glad to see you in one piece.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Oh, how'd you escape? When the boat exploded, you were right in the middle of it. I can't believe my eyes.
I guess we were both born under lucky stars, Jimmy. How do you feel?
A little groggy, but I'm okay. What happened?
Well, the fire must have gotten to the gas tanks, and they blew up. I found myself floating in the water right next to you.
I remember now. Someone talked to me. It must have been you.
Uh-huh.
How did we get here on shore?
Well, I swam in with you. You're not very heavy.
You mean you swam 10 miles carrying me?
Well, it didn't seem like 10 miles.
Gee, Mr. Kent, you're a Superman.
Oh, just a poor imitation, Jim. And now the question is, where do we go from here? I haven't had a chance to look around to find out where we are. Say, you know something?
What?
Look at the shoreline of this cove. Doesn't it look familiar?
Not to me.
Look over there to my left. See that cliff that juts out into the water?
Yes?
What's on that cliff?
A house. Oh, I know where we are. That's the big house Dr. Deutch was using as a hideout. And this is the cove where he had his radio-controlled plane anchored. The plane I got into.
That's right.
Oh, it sure is a coincidence that we happen to get back here.
Not so much of a coincidence now that I think about it. That boat was told to be 10 miles west of this cove. Well, now that we know where we are, I guess we better hike to the main road and thumb a ride into town. And no sense sitting here. You think you can make it?
Sure I can. Wait a minute.
What?
Where's Storm?
Your dog? I'm afraid he was lost, Jimmy.
You mean out there in the ocean?
I'm afraid so.
Oh, gosh. That makes me feel awful. He was an awful funny-looking dog, Mr. Kent, but he was smart. He warned us about the fire.
Yes, he did. Oh, don't think about it, Jim. I'll get you another dog.
What isn't that, Mr. Kent? Just that it doesn't seem fair. Storm wasn't much of a dog, but he never hurt anybody. He was a nice mutt. All he wanted was someone to pat him once in a while.
I know, Jim. Well, shall we go now? We've got a long walk.
All right.
Wait. Hold it, Jimmy.
What's the matter?
Just saw the headlights of a car coming along the dirt road through the woods. It stopped. Get down behind this bush.
Shh. Do you think it's someone important?
I don't know, but anyone coming down to this deserted cove at night deserves to be looked over.
Maybe it's one of Deutsch's gang.
Not so loud. Whoever it is coming down to the shore. Now keep low. It's a man.
Yeah, he's got something hidden in the bushes right at the water. What is it, Mr. Kent?
Can't see it yet. He's dragging it out.
It's a speedboat.
Be quiet.
Gosh, Mr. Kent, I'll bet he's the boss. And I'll bet he's going out to look for the big boat.
I'm going to grab him, Jimmy. Now, you stay here and don't make a sound. I'll crawl up on him and get him before he knows what's happened. Now, don't move a muscle. Here I go.
Who is the night prowler about to set out in a speedboat? Can Jimmy be right? Is he the boss? Clark Kent doesn't know it, but he's in for the surprise of his life. And so will you be when you listen in next time.
Don't forget, tune in again for the next thrilling episode with Superman.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine.
Welcome back. You know, I am willing to bet that the person who's sneaking up there is the intelligence guy. I believe it's Carter. I've still got this thing. I think I know who the leak is. I think I've got this thing figured out. I think I'm a few steps ahead, in fact, of Clark and Jimmy. Am I right? Well, you'll have to find out next time. Got any comments? Send them to Adam at adamsweb.us. Please cast your vote for our show over at podcastalley.com. But from Boise, Idaho, this is your host, Adam Graham, signing off.